In this video, I will give you the best reasons to use Windows or Linux. Windows and Linux are both operating systems. To better understand, you must know what is an operating system. An operating system is a program that, after being initially loaded into the computer by a boot program, manages all of the other application programs in a computer. The application programs make use of the operating system by making requests from services through a defined application program interface. Examples of an operating systems are Windows, Linux, Mac OS, and etc. Else, let me tell you that computers or phones don't work without operating system. Now you understand what is operating system is. Let's go to the reasons for using or not using Windows and Linux. 1. Open source. Open source software is code that is designed to be publicly accessible. Anyone can see, modify, and distribute the code as they see fit. In other words, being open source gives you more freedom to manage. Linux is open source and Windows is not open source, and you can customize Linux by editing source code. This is not good. 2. Ease of use. This comparison may be default because each person has different interests. Linux has improved a lot in these years in terms of user design and user experience. With the release of Linux Mint, the process of installing Linux has become much easier. But because Windows has been in the market more, if you want to connect a device to it, Windows has more advantages than Linux. But in the future, Linux can connect devices that couldn't connect it before. 3. Command line. However, both Windows and Linux have a command line, but there is a big difference between them. The command line of Linux is much more efficient. You can do everything with the command line of Linux. Unlike Linux, the command line of Windows is less efficient and you have less maneuverability in Windows. 4. Price and licensing. Linux is free. Linux is free with more functions and libraries, and you can use Linux for free. But Windows is not free and you have to buy it. 5. Security. Linux is more secure than Windows. It's more difficult for hackers and attackers to find bugs in Linux because they attacked Linux more, and these attacks forced them to find and fix bugs. Windows is less secure than Linux. It's much easier for hackers to attack someone who has Windows than someone who has Linux. 6. Target. Linux is built based on hacking and mostly used for hacking. Of course, I would like to say that Linux can also be used for everyday tasks. Windows is more based on daily tasks. Tasks such as calculations, reading books, searching, and playing games, and etc. 7. Support. Both Windows and Linux have a very large community that we can refer to for our problems. 8. System updates. Those who use Windows say that successive updates at bad time are famous and annoy people. But unlike Windows, Linux has very good updates that can determine when Linux is updated by the user. This is one of the advantages of Linux that unfortunately Windows doesn't have. 9. UI and UX. In these years, Windows has made great progress in user design and user experience. Therefore, working with Windows has become very easy in these years. Linux also has a very simple user experience and a stylish and simple user design that made it easier for us to work with it. Else, keep in mind that Linux is based on the terminal and you must know the command line to work with it. This is one of the reasons why you want to use Windows or you want to use Linux. It's up to you.